Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I'm Inquisitor Temperance Prize, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is my report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee and players Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, Tyler Hewitt as Attikus Viz, Del Borovic as Morgan Rolls, and Josh Halbot as Gideon Vega. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band are losing the battle with the Filth Lord's gang. Valentine's plan fell apart instantly. Morgan killed a sorcerer before being dominated by a daemonhost. Attikus met his match against a warp champion, and Gideon watched Origath die in a duel with Pustulus. Can these heroes turn the tide, or do they only have seconds to live? Find out next in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
I will prove myself to you, grandfather. You will see. I will take this planet in your name, and we shall spread our plagues throughout the galaxy. I will take it at any cost. Any cost for you, grandfather. Filth Lord Pustulus. Having just killed Jeffrey Schwarzenberger, a.k.a. Origath, the Plague Bearer, Pustulus wraps threaded intestine around his arm and reclaims his gruesome blade, looking squarely at Attikus, who is deep in combat with a demon host. And as the fire kind of dissipates around the body of Origath, you know, the skull helm kind of falling loosely from the body as it continues to just burn on the blade, he steps over it and begins to march towards you. We are locked in combat at the top of the tower at the center of the Dreaming City. The Inquisitorial band is attempting to get through a warp gate to reach the Black Library. The warp gate, unfortunately, is inside the remnants of the previous demon prince of this world, Elmstat, who is now a giant warp tumor being held up by a few chaos sorcerers. Our dear friend Morgan has been possessed by one of the demon hosts and has marched her way into its threat range. Trin Rakai is yelling for help, hanging from Toby. Gideon had cast fiery shields around Attikus and Origath. And Valentine, despite being harried by Nurglings, has kind of made his way to the side and is snapping off shots at the sorcerer when and where he can. That brings us to... That was Pustulus. Next up is Gideon. Nice. You watch one of your only friends on this planet die.
Yet again. For the umpteenth time for Gideon. Yeah, so I think he's been kind of holding the shields up with concentration, and I think as Origath falls, that he snaps out of that concentration, and the fire shield kind of seeps off of Attikus a little bit. And then maybe, I was thinking like not in any mechanical way, but from like a flavor perspective, as the flames kind of recede back from Origath, they bring a little bit of his... psionic energy. He starts pulling that back in, and then he's going to look at the tumor, and he's going to try and channel some of what was left of Origath, and he's going to try and fuck this tumor up.
Nice. All right.
He's going to try and let the warp flow through you.
Great.
Is the structure? Is it the tumor itself? Is it more like a structure, or is it like exclusively organic?
It's organic.
Okay.
Yeah. There is a structure inside it, which is the warp gate. Yeah. But this is essentially, to use a grim metaphor, it's like an ingrown hair. It's like a tumor around
pussy,
the yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Elmstat has been expanded and stretched across it to
gross-aroni.
Okay.
So instead of he was going to use destructive to add to this, but I think he's just going to use empowered instead. Destructive looks like it's more like that's what he used on the landing pad.
I would take destructive for this if you want. I think. I mean,
destructive has it gives it sunder, right? So it's like I think that's more against physical structures, and empowered just like ups the damage.
Sure. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Yep.
I believe my 2 boosts carrying forward go to you. I don't think there was a allied
just
roll.
threw them to Origath didn't.
And he's going to try and be destructive. Do I add anything else for blowing this tumor up? Or also, do I have to take fear first from the tumor?
You don't have to take fear from the tumor.
Nice.
It's just disgusting. You can take a boost from the similar to what I gave Valentine earlier. It's side of a barn with a shotgun.
Yep.
Like it's a big target.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's it. Anything from anyone else?
Nah.
Yep.
Just sucking in any of good Jeffrey's last little psionic juices.
Sure. You can take an advantage
Yeah,
for.
let's take it.
Oh, sweet.
I'll take what I can
boost
get.
rather for Origath. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Let's give it a shot. Oh, hey, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, 1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
Whoa.
Nice.
Do you like that?
That's a little
We
Origath
like that,
triumph
sucker
there.
boy.
Let's go.
His ghost is with you. Put it in the fire.
Burn them all.
Ghosts have a very good smoke point for this kind of thing. This is very good.
So he does. Oof, damn. So I think he does 20 damage to this thing.
Whoa.
If I'm
Outstanding.
it's equal to 3 times the characteristic linked to the skill, the characteristic of agility, plus he adds the 5 successes.
That would total 20.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Wow.
All right.
Well done.
Big.
Nice.
Big boom.
Big
Does
boom.
it have Pierce?
No, it does not. Maybe that triumph could give it Pierce?
Oh, interesting.
That would be spicy.
Triumph for extra damage, however narratively
Yes.
that spend
Yeah.
is.
Like a little Orgoth.
Because I was gonna pitch the explosion of the fire against the tumor causes the sorcerer to like back the fuck off, like ruins that one round of sorcerer. But yeah, it's up to you. Do you want to? I mean, it seems like you're trying to hurt this thing as much as possible. So
Yeah.
adding Pierce would make sense.
And I think he wouldn't necessarily really know what the sorcerers are doing too much. I
Yep.
think he's just trying to like focus all of
Okay.
Orgoth into doing
So
as
then the
much
question
damage on
becomes,
this
how
thing.
much Pierce do we give you for that?
I think 10 is a fair number.
10?
That
Yeah,
seems
no,
like
that seems good. I'm going to dip back up to our boy
Good pitch, Josh.
Hey,
Orgoth.
Dig it. I dig it.
I'm not familiar with the rules per se, but I
a
have
nice
a, 10,
round number.
a 10 written down here.
Okay. I'm going to use Orgoth's willpower as your Pierce.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool.
Which is 4.
Nice.
So you gain Pierce 4. So you deal damage to the like you see,
Yep.
like it does sort of hit it hard and particularly with fire burn up some of the organic matter. Elmstat screams in agony, but there's a bit of a laugh on it. Because he's team fuck up the plague guys. Still a heretic, still got to burn. But yeah, solid hit. Not deep enough that you can even see the warp gate, but it does some good damage.
I'm going to take my 1 advantage there and regain a little bit of strain, and
Yep.
then I'm going to cower behind Attikus as Pustulus, like out of the corner of my eyes, see him coming. I'm like, oh, Christ.
Yeah.
So he'll just, and then he'll like nudge Attikus too and point out Pustulus.
Look out, it's that one guy.
Oh no.
Great, good round, Gideon. All right. The artist formerly known as Morgan.
Yeah.
You are frozen
Morgan is
in front of a demon host, but your boy Toby ain't.
Toby.
So what do you do?
Yeah, I want to send Toby all the way around, like around the corner to where Valentine is, and next to Valentine. And if I need to do more strain to get that range band, or like I'm not sure how far he is from where Toby is in the middle over there.
He's close enough that he can do it in one.
And he can fly.
Yeah,
and it's
and he's
going to
going
be my
diagonal.
action.
Yeah.
It's going to be my action and everything to get Toby around and then next to Valentine and a little like, because it's like the only thing that can happen is now Valentine is within talking range of Toby.
Yep.
And that's all Morgan can do is she's frozen on the
Say,
other side.
Valentine, as he is stomping Nurglings, will look to Toby and say, Did I hear that you've been grabbed? Just stomping and talking to Morgan.
Yeah, like, "Grr." And I think even could be a ping on your what is it?
So Trin Rakai might be able to tell.
That's a good point.
Well, but I don't think Morgan's thinking like Trin's got my back. So what were you
I'm
gonna say?
sure you ping him. He's not taking out a data
That's
slate.
what I
to
mean.
read.
That's all I
100%.
got is just the location. It's just because she's so afraid and can't help herself. It's like,
Okay.
it's garbled.
If he gets a call back, he's going to look at it and just say, use the bird to fight the demon host. I'll take the servitor.
Yeah.
Just drop it.
Yeah, Trin just says, the cowardly one with the sniper rifle was taken, I think is what she's trying to say.
Okay, you're with me, Trin. Bird, go.
Nah! Damn it! The servitor just drops and then falls forward on its face.
Perfect. There's nurglings down there. Kill them. Kill them.
Starts rolling, like he's got no servos. There's
I
no
know,
arms
I
or
know.
legs. Sitting there turning his head angrily. Most undignified. Okay, great. So that's Morgan. And that goes through to the demon host turn, so there's nothing else you can do there. That brings us to Valentine, appropriately enough.
Valentine is where he is. If he doesn't get through the sorcerers, there's no point to any of this. Trin is now out of combat. It's a boring servitor. Nothing he could do there. But he can't carry it and engage in this battle effectively. He can't risk the Nurglings eating a spirit stone, which they might want to do. Mm-hmm. So Valentine's going to reach in and just yank Trin's spirit stone out of this servitor so he can carry that.
Okay.
Then he is going to just book it. He will spend a maneuver to disengage and a maneuver to move towards that sorcerer that he shot at earlier that he did not hit. And it's just power sword out. There is no war cry. He does not need Pustulus spotting him. Pustulus has a target. He'd rather just keep moving behind him. But he's realizing there's only so much work that bolts can do. Maybe the Nurglings will have fun with that twitching servitor over there. He's got Trin Rakai. It's just, can he scythe through this sorcerer on his way kind of past it?
Yep.
Let's find out. What is the sorcerer's defense?
No defense. Womp womp.
Okay. Difficulty's always 2.
Yeah,
No
difficulty's
defense.
2. You get a boost from being distracted and staring. Like he's still casting his ritual.
Mm-hmm. Boost for that. Yep.
I think that might honestly be it from my side of things. Fuck it. I'll spend a story point. Let's make this slightly harder on you if we can.
Okay.
So that brings us to 3 and 2.
Actually,
It's 4 and 1.
4 and
You
1.
had 3 too.
I'm going to spend 1 too. Just
Okay,
this feels
so 3 and
like
2.
3 and 2.
spicy. Yeah, we'll stay at 3 and 2. Alrighty. Let's see what happens. Interesting. 2 successes, 2 advantage, and 1 despair.
Cool.
We're having a timeout here.
So I do 12 damage with Pierce 4 to the sorcerer.
Okay.
And 2 is a crit. So if he's not dead,
He's not.
I will crit. So let's see what we get out of this. Oh, that's not great. He is slowed down. He can only act during the last allied initiative slot on the next turn.
Okay,
It just drops to
interesting.
0 on initiative.
That's not
On the
bad.
next turn, not even this turn. So
Well, you already acted this turn, so that's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. So he takes a sword through he just gets hamstrung by the blade. Valentine was hoping would go all the way through both legs and instead just scores deeply across the back of them. But he does fuck up the underlying musculature, which it may not hurt to have happened, but it sure does make it wonkier to move around.
Yeah, he just has to jam, like from the floor, is just jamming his hands forward against the warp tumor because he can't, like, stand there doing his magic shit anymore. She yells, Lord Pustulus, help!
I'm going to take a wild guess that the despair ends up affecting the elevator in some way.
Well, you know, that's funny you mentioned that, Ryan.
Third time we can go fuck
Rule
ourselves.
of 3, Beetlejuice, Plague Marine. The doors open and the Chekhov's Plague Marine comes stomping through with a bolter.
And
just
a
like
new Plague Marine.
The
Yeah.
second one.
he had 2.
There were 2.
There's only one on that floor, but there were 2
two
I
mentioned.
didn't know there was I didn't remember. That's fine.
Yeah.
At the
and
city
it's,
overview, I
it's
think
just
it was.
Donald Glover showing up with pizzas in Community, just like looking around at all of this shit. And you just hear him go, these fucking guys. And he turns the bolt gun around. So I will roll for his initiative. And we'll see how that goes. But yes, in the city initiative, or in the city overview, he was only given 2 because Pustulus hasn't proven himself to grandfather Nurgle yet, but he does get 2 boys. Okay. Yikes. And you had advantage?
Spent it for the crit.
Spent it for the crit. All right. Fair. Okay. Plague Marine, what do you get, buddy? You get, Triumph, 3 success, and 2 advantage.
Triumph on initiative is allowed to give a free maneuver before combat has begun, so you could.
He's going to aim.
There you go.
And let's see. He comes in, setting up Valentine. You just slash through and are running at the warp tumor. Attikus has the power fist. Morgan is talking to a demon host. Gideon's a psyker, but he's cowering. I think he'd sight up Attikus because but you're not even dressed like an Inquisitor, though. He wouldn't immediately be like, fuck that guy.
No, I haven't. I'm in a torn up dreamer suit. Also, theoretically, in line from the door, there's Gideon, Attikus in a fight with a demon host, Pustulus, and then me and a sorcerer. And Valentine, I will say, to make it narratively clear, he was planning on running past. If he killed the guy, then he could go. He's still engaged with that sorcerer.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
I just don't think you look like the biggest threat on the board. I think that would be Attikus. So just like your shield has a fucking Aquila on it. It's like, and a power fist. A power fist is clearly the most dangerous thing. So I'll use that free maneuver to aim because he can't shoot, but he can sure think about it. So that's what he will do. I think that also narratively tracks with what I described him doing. He'll pass an advantage on to Pustulus. He's boss for now. Okay. Bad news bears. And he enters the initiative order, 3 success. So after Pustulus. Cool. What a day, what a day. So that was Valentine. Next up in the order are the Nurglings. So the Nurglings swarm the servitor from the swarm you just had and start biting it. I don't really do anything, but they're, one of them like squirms in where the soulstone was and is doing the like Men in Black driving suit thing. They're just, they're having a good time. Second bunch of Nurglings were fighting Origath. I think they will go and join the servitor swarm. So it gets a bit bigger, but I don't think 3 Nurglings are particularly great on their own. So they're kind of like, like
they're having fun on that mountain. Yeah,
run over to join that. The Nurglings who ran at Morgan originally are standing there at the door with the Plague Marine. They're all just going to stare at the Plague Marine in wonder because holy shit, look at this fucking guy. They're cheering, they're jumping up and down, so they're just applauding. And then the far corner ones see Morgan and the demon host, but I think they'd be scared that the demon host would kill them. So they're gonna move up, but just kind of wait like hyenas just on the edge of a kill zone to be like, maybe we can have some of this soon. Not yet. So that's the Nurglings, tremendously ineffective. Bring us to the daemonhost. So the one who was staggered and winded, that is done, I believe.
I haven't killed it. I didn't hit it. Oh, like how long is the crit last?
Sorry, I mean the inability to act.
The original crit was 1 turn.
Yep, great. So no longer staggered.
Okay.
And then the other one has Morgan. So let's do Attikus first, and then we'll go to the board on Morgan.
Yeah, because Attikus had 1 round of it not being able to harm him.
Yep.
Which I squandered, actually. Now that I think about it, I should have left and gone to help Morgan with the demon host, but
I mean,
that hadn't happened yet.
Morgan wasn't on demon hosts. Morgan was on sorcerers, and then the other demon host made some choices. So you know what? It could have gone totally different. Maybe you would have smushed it in 1.
That's true. I missed as well. But
Attikus chose the target. He had a tactical awareness.
It's true.
Is the barrier still up for me, or is that gone as well?
It went away.
Okay.
All right. So you've been like just like punching on this thing. It hasn't been able to hit you. So you see it kind of twist. Oh wait, it's still winded.
It is winded, so I think that means no
psyker. It was going to try to do a psyker.
It stays winded.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that's nice. Again, good. GG. All right, it's just going to like crank an arm back and try and claw you across the face. So difficulty of 2.
Defense 2.
2. We got 2 yellow, 2 green. You don't have anyone else fighting you right now, so it doesn't get a boost. Didn't get any boost from random assholes helping it out. I think this is just straight roll. So I've got 2 green, 2 purple. Sorry, 2 yellow, 2 green, 2 purple, 2 black. Do you want to spend a story point? I will not be.
No, I think I gotta, assuming this isn't a horrifyingly debilitating hit, I think I gotta save story points for fighting a space marine.
Yeah. Actually,
And
I will.
also a Filth Lord or whatever he's called.
I will spend a story point on this because this thing has been getting its ass kicked, so it would be inclined to fight as hard as it inhumanly could. So 3 yellow, 1 green, 2 purple, 2 black.
Fine.
Okay. So update to a red. Okay.
Don't upgrade to a red. Fine.
Fine.
I will-
I'll take the hit.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Oh,
Okie dokie. All right. So 4 and 1 in your favor. Look at this. Look at you go. Okay. See what happens. 1 success and 3 advantage, which will activate crit. So that is 7 damage from the claws.
Okay.
Pierce 4.
Okay. So 4 damage gets through.
Okay. And then I will roll on the crit table. Got a 29.
29 means a discouraging wound. Move 1 player pool story point to the game master pool.
Oh, rude.
That's so rude.
Well, I'm glad I didn't spend it then.
yeah.
Yep. All right. So 3
And
back
make
to
a
3
note,
and 2.
you have 1 active critical injury, so any further crits roll at +10 on the chart.
Yeah, I think Attikus, having missed with your previous punch and running the process that we just heard you as a player run to the table of like, fuck, I should have gone to help Morgan, just distracted enough that this thing rakes its claws across you. And even though it doesn't do tremendous damage, it's offensive.
Yeah.
Like, just let your guard down long enough for it to get through. It would smile, but you punched its jaw off earlier, so it can't really do that. That's that one. Meanwhile, Morgan, you are standing before the demon host. It has drawn you over with the warp shackles, and its mouth is just going to start to distend in the mummy way. And it is going to just breathe putrid, sort of like caustic acid, poisony shit on you.
Great.
So, going to roll a check. So, currently I've got 2 yellow, 3 green. This is a psyker check, so it's not. I don't think you're.
Difficulty versus itself,
defense
not
doesn't,
versus-
yeah.
But do you have defense? Do you have melee defense?
Yes.
I would take it for this based on what
It's
this thing is.
3.
3? Okay, that's useful. 3. I am going to give it a boost for the warp shackles. I think the fact that you're frozen in place makes this very
Hard to
easy.
not gonna dodge.
Okay, so I have 2 yellow, 3 green, 1 blue, 2 purple, 3 black. Would you like to spend a story point?
I don't think so. Might need them after this potentially.
You know, you're saving up for retirement.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the other thing is these rolls are weighted so fucking heavily
It's
against
not
us.
helping
that-
us that much.
Doesn't fucking matter. I got 5 advantage, but no success.
What?
Hey.
So, Morgan, how the fuck do you not get hurt by this?
I think it's because after Toby dropped that, Toby swooped back in.
Oh, yeah.
swooping
This is
past.
Toby just like...
It's the jet air.
Just
It's like-
knocks, uses a
goes
wing to
between,
just
yeah.
funnel it away from your body. But 5 advantage, that's a thing.
Yep.
What to do? So I'm just going to borrow this.
You could disarm your dear Morgan.
Yep.
So rifle clatter across room with spray.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. So I think narratively what we'll say is, so you were staggering, so you had the gun in your hand.
Yep.
So gun falls out of hand, and I will use the other 2 to perform a free maneuver, which is just booting the gun back into Nurgle corner.
Okay.
Nurgling corner. Into Nurgle.
The
Nurgle's here.
furthest Nurgling corner.
Yeah, the Nurglings who just like...
Because he kicked it past the audience, but it's behind the audience.
Yes, yes.
So they will guard your gun. It's basically like, do job. Kicks it to them. Wow. That is a very
That was incredibly lucky.
lucky roll. Yeah. Okay, so that's the 2 Daemon host. That brings us to the tumor, which has 3 sorcerers working on it. So it will regain.
It has one sorcerer. Stabbed by a power sword. So he might still be working. I don't know if you have a check for him.
If he's fighting with you, he can't be. He can't be working. It takes concentration. So it gains a little bit of health back, but not as much as it could have.
So sorry, we killed one sorcerer. One is fighting Tyler.
One is fighting Valentine.
Valentine.
Yeah.
Tyler's fighting, like Attikus is fighting a demonhost, and Pustulus is on his way to fight Attikus.
Kind of
Valentine ran
aiming
around that combat and attacked the next
Yes.
sorcerer.
And then two of them are...
Two of them, the two on Morgan's side, are
Morgan's
still
side,
active
unfettered.
and casting.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Top of the round. The one that is fighting Valentine is going to have to turn his attention away from casting because you're here and you'll have to risk the rage of Pustulus, but he can't do his job if he's getting power sorted to death.
I mean, his job, in Valentine's opinion, is to
Is to get power sorted to death. Yeah, fair enough. That's why it doesn't work for you.
I'm hiring him. I'm hiring him. The job
I need
is
to
dead.
do Jeffrey.
We're fresh out of Jeffrey.
Okay. Yeah, he is using kind of the same energy that he was using to power the thing. He's like kind of on the ground because you hamstrung him. He's just going to draw that power back and then just yell like, "Fluids of Grandfather Nurgle, protect me!" And throw a Psyker blast up at you there. Valentine, this is a 2 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue for him against a red and a purple.
Melee defense is 4 black.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah. So I got 2 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 purple, 4 black.
Yeah, that feels right. I feel like this is just, can Valentine dodge a blast as opposed to something more enhanced by him. So yeah, let's let it ride.
All right. Fuck. 3 threat to me.
Ooh.
The energy, having been injured and also having used the power to like the power being used to heal the tumors, draining the warp energy from the room. So he like goes to throw this wall of pestilence up at you, and instead it's just like a burst of fetid air, and like it's gross, but like you can do gross. With the 3 threat.
I have a pitch if you want one.
I'll take one. I was going to say he's exhausted his psyker powers.
I was going to say, why don't we? That was what I was going to pitch.
Dry.
That's what I was going to pitch mechanically. But if we want to deal with it also in the flavor sense, Valentine's seen a lot of magic comes out of this guy's hand, and he's got a power sword. So he would like to dishand this gentleman of both hands, stripping him of his sorcerer's powers.
Yeah, I like that. I can't fathom this man surviving another round, so that's fine. So just both hands come off.
He doesn't feel pain. He can come punching it with stumps, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be super effective. Cool. So, yeah, he just looks at them and says, Pustulus! And you just hear, like, just a from the elevator. Like, this Marine is so fucking mad at all this. So that's that guy. The other 2 are working on the tumor. No one's hurt them yet, so they can just continue to do their work, and that's fine. Okay. That brings us to RP Jeffrey. Attakus.
Okay.
Pustulus is not engaged with you yet, but he's on his way. You've got this daemonhost. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm assuming Attikus clocked the elevator door opening with a plague marine coming through behind him.
Would you have turned if you heard an elevator open? Like he hasn't yelled anything. He hasn't shot anyone.
Oh, okay. I had an idea in my head of like the guy hit Attikus in the face and he reeled and turned around, but that's just me making that up in my brain. But
let's do a perception check.
Okay.
Didn't I tell him about it?
You told him about Pustulus coming towards me.
You just kept yelling, "Not good," which may not have helped him with his tactical awareness.
I remember doing that, but I couldn't remember who, what nightmare problem it was for.
You're looking forwards.
Yeah.
It's spooky there.
I'm
There's
going
a lot
to
of
say
them.
difficulty 3 because you do have good combat awareness, and I kind of want to split this down the middle of like as much of a 50-50 kind of situation as we can.
I was going to say, do you have 3 green or 2 green for?
Oh,
But I'll do
it's
3.
Still 3.
Love
No one else is looking. Like Valentine, you're tied up.
Valentine, it doesn't matter what fucking came out of that elevator.
Yeah.
We're not here to fight.
Yep.
I need to open a goddamn door.
Yeah, fair enough. So I think that's what you got.
I rolled 1 success.
Hey.
You get clawed across the chest and over your shoulder. You see a fucking space marine show up.
Okay. So, knowing that Gideon is standing like right beside me as I'm facing down a demon host, and that Pustulus is on his way over here, and that I just reeled from getting hit and see a goddamn space marine sighting me down, I think Attikus just like is going to try and kill this demon host because it's like back to like fighting for him to some degree. But he's also going to say over his shoulder to Gideon, just like get out the fucking way.
His big eyes.
Like, you need to go. And he's just going to try and kill this demon host.
Sure, go for it.
2 reds and a purple. I feel like the desperation has been kind of ratcheted up a little bit where I will cash in a story point. Attikus needs to put this big bileless baby to bed. But I'm ready with my die pool unless you want to add anything.
No.
Okay. 1 success, 4 advantage.
Okay. I can tell you with the amount of damage you do, it goes down. How's this demon host die?
It's a feint with the shield, and then instead of a punch coming in like a hook, it's actually an awful, horrifying backhand with a power fist. Just I'm not 100% sure how the power fist works, but like it's coated in some kind of energy that lets it cut through things.
It's got
right?
a disruptor field that you can activate to let it like grip and tear. It's also just super strong.
Yeah. I think just the backhand motion, just kind of between each finger of like an open power fist hand, just kind of shreds this guy.
Yeah. It's just the Doom insta-gib thing, or just like explodes into meat.
Yeah.
And you hear a horrific demonic shriek as this thing splits apart. And you see all of the sorcerers, I was going to say grab their heads, but one of them just put stumps to his ears. But the destruction of the daemon host disrupts the sorcerers for a round as they just as a demon is torn out of its host and like, not because we're in the immaterium, but like out of existence and has to reform. It just like the rage with which it screams. Elmstad is laughing and screaming in a kind of horrible way. But the sorcerers are disrupted.
Okay. With 4 advantage, I'm going to take away 2 strain from my pool, bringing me down to 9. And I'm going to toss up 2 more bonus dice for whoever's next, which I believe is Gideon.
Yep.
And I would like to maneuver. If it took me 1 move to get from the elevator to that demon house, I want to use the 1 movement to go back and close range with the space marine.
Yep.
Attikus's thinking is Pustulus seems to be closing range to do melee. So if he fights Pustulus, the Space Marine still shoots him. If he goes to the Space Marine shoots him, but Pustulus might still need to come after him. So he's just trying to kite Pustulus around the battlefield. Just like, I don't want to fight you both at the same time. I would like to do this one after the other.
Yep.
Assuming I survive the next one. He's just after the backhand and says, get the fuck out the way. And he's just going to run past Gideon back towards the elevator and over the comm bead. If you'll allow me, just for communication's sake, he'll just say, Space Marine sighted. And he's just going to go in and try and, obviously he's going to come in swinging, but that doesn't happen yet.
Valentine, do you respond to that? You've all got, no. Yep.
There's nothing he can add to this tactical shit fuck at this point. Like, this is, everybody's in it and everybody's on their own thing. Because Valentine in his head, the reason there's no response is Attikus is on big threats. Gideon is supposed to be blowing up the tube, or he's going to be focusing on big threats because he gets distracted easily. Morgan's out of play, and the sorcerers are keeping this thing covered, which means Valentine's only job is deal with sorcerers because nobody else is big picture thinking enough to also deal with sorcerers. That's his play here. So it's just moving as quickly and efficiently as possible for him.
Gotcha. Okay. So that brings us to Pustulus. Attikus seemed like the big threat. He just punched a demon host away. But Valentine's attacking the sorcerer, but he has 2 sorcerers still up.
And Gideon's between.
Gideon
Attikus
is between them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. In the same way I made Attikus roll to see the Marine show up, I don't know if he's seen Gideon throw flame or not. And the flame he's seen no, I guess he would have seen you throw the cast the big fireball. I think he's going to go after Attikus by saying, "Leave him, he's mine. I can do this. I will show grandfather." His whole thing is showing Nurgle that he's good to go, and if the Marine does all the work, it's very possible that the Marine will then kill him. So he's going to ignore Valentine despite the fact that Valentine's fucking up the operation because he can't have this Marine claim the glory. I think to Pustulus' mind, it's not too far a step from Marine to Demon Prince. So he's going to...
Just imagine him shoving Gideon aside.
That's kind of it.
Get out of the way.
Just after he got shoved by Attikus, he just wanted because he's
buffeted by these guys.
He's kind of got that monstrous lurch thing, right? So he's going to use the maneuvers to kind of make his way towards the door. So I think he'll be able to get up to you but not attack you.
Thank you. That's all I was hoping for. I didn't want to have be getting it from both ends from these guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's next turn.
I know. I bought one turn. I know.
Strictly speaking, I feel
a
like
turn is just a
Kiting is
blessing.
good.
Strictly speaking, I feel like I could probably do it, but based on the way I've described this guy's movement, I think it just legitimately takes him the time.
Okay.
Plus, he has to push past people, and he's stepping over stuff. He's just awkwardly trying to hail a cab, being like, no, as he goes.
These Nurgle guys' disposition, I really like.
They're fun. It's a fun thing. If you ignore everything else about them, they're lovely people.
If you took off all the rot, they would just seem like a good time.
Just a treat.
Yes, these unsuccessful Nurgle guys.
Yeah.
That are really trying hard.
They're all really nice if they're not very good at their job.
They're trying.
Okay, so Attikus, based on the fact that you're storming up to this guy, I think he's going to shoot at close range. I don't think it gives him a distinct disadvantage, but I think it really is the kind of thing where it's he's got the gun up and aimed, so he's got to fire it before he can drop it and reach for other stuff. But I just can't imagine if I see a guy with a power fist running at me that I'm going to be like, time for the knife. Oh, fuck. So firing at close range, I believe, gives additional, raises the div.
We'll have to double check.
Let's go to the board.
Any opponent engaged with a character when the character makes a ranged attack, no matter who the target is, may add a boost to their next brawl or melee check against that character. So it just means the fact that he does this means you'll be able to hit harder next turn.
Oh, okay.
What do you have written down?
If I'm reading this chart correctly, the scenario, engaged with opponent while armed with a one-handed ranged weapon like a pistol or a throwing knife, +1 difficulty. That's a difficulty increase.
Oh, yeah, it's also a difficulty increase for a ranged modifier. Oh, it does both. In addition, the difficulty. There we go. If the paragraph runs longer.
Yeah. Is it a one-handed weapon or is it two-handed?
No, he's got a bolter.
So it's +2 difficulty then.
Yep. So +2 difficulty, and Attikus, you can make a note. You will get a free boost to your next attack against this target because he has fired a ranged weapon at you in close combat. So it makes it harder to hit and easier to punch back.
This sucks for him. But it is, I think, what he would do. Once you've committed to the cause.
Yeah.
So I increased difficulty by 1.
2.
By 2.
By two-handed weapon, yeah.
Okay, so it's range band 1, but the difficulty goes up by 2. I'm going to give him a setback for Pustulus being distracting. He doesn't give a shit about Pustulus, but also if he shoots you and you explode like a normal squishy human person, there's a chance the bolt goes through you and blows up part of Pustulus, which is just bad form. So setback for that.
Attikus has defense 3 for range.
Defense 3, okay. 3. Yeah, all right. So I got 3 yellow, 1 green, 3 purple, and 4 black. I think I will... No, he's not going to spend a story point. He feels like, even with the Power Fist, I think he thinks he's got this because he's a Space Marine and you're not, which might be his undoing. Do you want to spend story point to jack any of this up?
No, I feel like I can't hog them. No.
You're in the shit right now.
You're tanking everything.
We're all in the shit is the thing.
Right. Okay, let's roll one threat. Unfucking real.
Out of all those
Fucking Space Marine flinched, man.
So yeah, just like gun up, and I think Attikus is just as you get close, it's just slapping it to the side. So fires a bolt round into the ground, it blows up a bunch of Nurglings. I think maybe we'll say that's what the threat does, is it just scatters the Nurgling horde that was like hanging out and cheering for him. They just like run for cover because they don't want to get caught in the middle of all this. But what a disastrous moment for this Plague Marine and a wonderful moment for Attikus. So Pustulus just yells, "See!" As he comes running in. But he's like yelling it to the sky, right? He's yelling it to Nurgle, wherever Nurgle is, as if Nurgle is tuned into this particular channel. Join our Patreon, Nurgle. All right, so that's the Marine. What a disaster. What a disaster for the villains. Okay, so Pustulus was 4. He's 4.5. That brings us to 5. Gideon.
Sick.
So Gideon, you see a hole in the tumor that you've made. You also see the kind of like gooey shimmering of the sorcery powers working on it has ceased as the sorcerers either grab their heads or bleed aggressively into their own faces at Valentine's feet. But you also see like there's a gap now in the tumor. What do you do?
Yeah, I think so. He was going to originally, I think, seeing this swarm kind of heading towards Attikus, I think he was getting ready to like set up that barrier again. And then as that demon host exploded, he felt that same kind of psychic resonance rocket out, and then saw the tumor, that little Independence Day shield around the tumor kind of wore off for a second.
Yeah.
So he's just going to go right back to that exact same thing he did the last time, the empowered Psyker Flame on.
Sounds good.
Yep.
So I think that's 2 boosts.
Yeah. Oh, I get 2 boosts? Oh, that's right.
I had
yeah.
kicking 2 boosts down the road, yeah.
Perfect. Beautiful. Anything else?
Get the boost from it being large and easy to hit.
Cool.
I think I'll also give you a boost for having a target. Amazing. Like now that there's the gap in it, it's not, it's, I think particularly for someone who doesn't know how these things work, is still figuring it out, just I had an effect.
An opening.
Good. It's like, you can push your luck further on this.
Cool. Let's give it a shot. Oh, wow. Okay. 1 success and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 advantage.
Beautiful.
Oh. Damn.
Holy shit. Okay. So
that would be 16 damage. That has the deadly gives it crit 2 and vicious 2.
Interesting. And you have how much advantage?
8.
So with vicious 2, that adds 20 to the crit board, and you've got 8, so you can do 4 rolls on crit. Let's roll those and see what happens.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
I was going to do some on the crit because I am starting to dip into my strain a little bit, so he's starting to feel the years.
I would recommend, if you don't want to disappoint Valentine, that you throw all those.
Yeah. Do I have to do it all, or can I do like a couple crits and then be like, let me
do
save
one
the
at a
rest?
time?
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I'm just on the other side of the thing.
Mechanically, like do I have to commit all of that?
That's a good question. We haven't really dealt with dealt with crits a lot.
We don't do like
time.
a wait and see usually.
I think what we've done, if we're looking at precedent, we've checked if people have killed someone before we've made them roll a crit sometimes. But that's always at GM's discretion. So I would say this is up to Tom.
Yeah.
Okay. How you want
What
this.
I will say, you still got kind of the, just enough of the soul of Origath floating around. And you just like, as you're continuing to summon this, you can almost see his form fighting within the tumor.
Oh, cool.
The damage you're doing won't destroy it.
Yeah.
But you have the possibility of popping off a bunch of crits, which might put it up and over. So I'll just say mechanically what I'm thinking here. It's not enough damage to kill it, but if a bunch of critical stuff happens to it, that we can logic it. Like if it's like, it's winded.
If you could
it's like,
push it high enough, you might be able to kill it with crits, but you can't kill it with
but
the base
narratively,
damage.
we might even be like, this makes it feel like this thing has failed and collapsed. So I'll leave that up to you, how much you want to commit to or not.
Damn, yeah. Nah, you know what? He's gonna dump it. If he can see Origath and he's doing it, he's not gonna be like, well, I'm getting pretty tired.
All right. Watching Attikus fight Chaos Lord and Brain at the same
everybody's
time, and he's
fucked up and he's like,
I don't want to nap.
I got to take a little me time.
Yeah.
He's overcoming his Greybridgian instincts in this very second.
That's good.
Yeah, he pulls out a handkerchief and mops his brow. We'll dump him. Why not?
Alrighty, let's do this first crit.
Let's get wet and wild. So these start at plus 20.
Plus 20.
And they keep going? Let's go.
Let's go.
47, 67.
67. Scattered senses. The target removes all boost from skill checks until this critical injury is healed.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that. All right, I'm just keep that in my back pocket.
The next one is plus 30.
30, yep. So it's going to be 69.
69.
Nice.
That's because it's a 67 and a 69. That is another scattered senses.
Okay.
The target removes all boost from skill checks until this critical injury is healed.
Keep on.
Next one is plus 40.
Oh, fuck. We're going to be right in that same wheelhouse again here. That is going to be 74.
74 is hamstrung. The target loses their free maneuver.
No.
This tube can't move worth a shit now.
Less capable.
All right. Plus 50
All right,
for this
give me
one.
something good here.
Roll
Come
100
on.
and
Yeah,
just
come on.
annihilate it.
No, you want a 9.
Another 3. Fuck. 3, 3, 4, 3. So that would be 88.
88. Compromised. Increase difficulty of all skill checks by 1 until this critical injury is healed.
Okay. So you send a burst of flame into this gap, and stuff just starts like exploding and bursting within the tumor. It's like, you've got horrible liquids oozing out of this thing, starting to deflate on one side, like massive damage. And as your fire kind of licks the inside of this thing, you can see the stony edge of the warp gate. So that's all happening. But here's where things start to get really kind of fucked up. So compromised, I'm going to take to mean the structural integrity of the tumor is compromised. So as I said, it's like it's burst. Things are like still has shape. There's still organs and things inside, but it's more malleable now. It's not like a hard rock thing you can't get into. In terms of hamstrung, I feel like that's probably the least useful one. But I think maybe we can
It has an unholy hamstring that's been damaged.
So I'm going to hang on to that one because I don't quite know what to do with that one yet. Scattered senses, though, that I can do something with, which is Elmstat just starts screaming, and all manner of dream images begin to bleed out of the walls and the floor. And I'm going to say that this creates disadvantage for the Nurgling team, because basically, like, he doesn't give a shit about you guys. He only really gives, and also you've seen the dream stuff outside, and it's less disturbing than the things you're fighting. So this is going to be just like, opening the Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones. There's just like ghosts and shit flying out. It's just Elmstat unleashing all of his senses are scattered. He doesn't know where he is. He's lost all control of his powers in the warp, and just unleashing all the sort of horrible nightmare dream energy he has on the room. So, well, it doesn't directly, like, it doesn't burst the tumor and like just give you a warp gate, but it is going to give difficulty to all of the Nurgle folk who you are fighting.
Cool.
Agreeable?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's both of the scattered things
Yes.
accounted for? Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. And Elmstat's just yelling "yes" from his giant tumor monster situation.
As his hamstring explodes.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Okay, and Gideon, is there anything else you want to do on your round?
I think he's after hearing Attikus tell him to get the fuck out, and then seeing his eyes kind of lock onto something behind. I imagine he probably like looks over his shoulder a little bit and sees that, and he is going to just like tap Attikus on the shoulder and go, okay, and he's gonna try and like get as far away from Pustulus and the Space Marine without like running into anything.
So they're all fighting at the north end of the room. So
if he
can
can
join Valentine if you want.
Yeah, I think
fighting the
has he
sorcerer on
seen
the
Morgan at all?
No, Morgan's
Or
on
is
the
she, like-
other side of the
she's
tumor.
totally separate.
But you know what? I'd say enough of the tumor has collapsed. Maybe that's the hamstrung. Enough of the tumor has collapsed in that you can see the demon host just screaming like pestilence into Morgan's face as Toby literally spread eagles over top, just like acting as a weird metal umbrella.
Yeah.
So yes, you can. You can
so
see
I think
Morgan.
maybe he might start booking it over to Morgan.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
You want to come over here?
Like just a corner of this thing. Just say, Mom.
Morgan,
Yeah.
you are still frozen for one more round.
Oh, I guess it's still frozen.
He extended the effect by 2. You spent his advantage to do it,
damn.
but you've got Toby with you
Okay,
now.
can Toby grab Morgan and pull her up out of there?
Yeah.
Toby
Hell
grabs
yeah. That's a
her.
cool
Yeah.
idea.
So I'll pay to disengage.
Yep.
And then since Morgan can't actually act, the movement is just taking Morgan up and towards the back of the room where there's not as
Poor
much stuff.
Gideon's like, I am going to happen. Oh, no.
No, Mom, come back.
Gideon is left facing a demon host.
Yeah.
He just starts screaming in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the demon host just kind of follows this whole thing, like it's just not a
Yeah. So taking her towards the other side where there's not as many people over there.
Okay, so kind of over to Valentine and
Yes,
and,
over
Gideon.
there.
Fuck, that was a good
was
play.
great.
Good play, Del. As you fly up.
Oh, sorry. Quick retcon. The first time I attacked the tumor, it would have burn for 2 more rounds. So last round it would have taken another 10 damage, if that makes any difference. It would be like a light. Sorry, I
So
totally
the tumor
forgot
is
all
still
the
burning
difference.
currently, Tom.
Yeah.
The
It's
10
still
damage
on
happens now.
fire.
As Morgan soars
You know
out
what?
the flames. Keep doing a burn.
Yeah. I'll. I mean, I do have a tumor initiative here.
It does take the damage on its turn.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we'll just do that on tumor turn.
Sure.
Yep.
Awesome.
Great.
It'll do 20 on tumor turn.
Explicitly why I put the tumor in the.
But
the
just-
It does
initiative.
base damage. It'll be 10.
Just, base,
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. But I think what Tyler's saying is it would have taken 10 previously, so it
Yeah.
should take 20 on this turn.
That's
'cause
that's
Sure,
But,
yes.
I forgot about how Silk works.
Yeah.
It
But
I
shouldn't,
was
it shouldn't
saying,
be 20 in one
You
shot.
blasted it twice?
Yeah.
that's
And it's burned for 1 turn afterwards?
It would have burned for the first tumor turn, and then
Yeah,
So
and
that's
then
which is
my
why,
idea.
which is why we'll take double.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's soak, etc. But we'll get to that on tumor turn, which is incidentally the bottom of the initiative order. But we also bumped someone to bottom of the initiative order.
Sorcerer. The handless man.
Oh well, fuck him. All right, cool.
Handless man.
So that's Morgan. Valentine, you see all this happen to the tumor in front of you. The sorcerer is just like screaming and spraying blood into his own face.
He seems
You
pretty
see
bad
what's going
at
on
his
with Attikus. What do you do?
There's no time to deal with anything else. The tumor has been heavily damaged.
You
But
can
he has-
see Warp Gate from where
He
you
can
are.
see Warp Gate, and he can see Gideon has run over to only see Morgan pulled out by Toby, meaning Gideon is now going to be engaged with the demon host. So Gideon can't do more damage to the tumor if he's fighting a demon host.
I'd be okay with saying you can spend advantage if you can get it to like cause him to do like a cartoony like because I feel like Gideon would stop running as soon as he sees Morgan go. It's just he's running full tilt. But
That's all possible, but actually what Valentine is going to do is just kick the handless man out of the way to spend a maneuver to disengage with this useless guy, because if he can't do magic, it doesn't matter anymore. And Valentine is just going to use his second maneuver, because he'll do a strain spend for it, to dash into the center of this and with his power sword try to carve out the warp gate.
Okay.
Because if he can see it, then he can carve around it. It doesn't necessarily need to be an explosion. He just needs the gate free. He does not need all of the tumor gone.
So let's go ahead with a melee attack, please.
For sure.
Difficulty 2. I'll give you a boost for hamstrung. Okay. You get a boost for just the size at this point. Hacking in any direction will assist you in your goal. It is on fire, so that's a problem. You'll be stepping into flame, but I assume you're just going to tank that.
Tempered will.
Right into the fire.
Yep.
Very nice.
Okay. And
Also, it's burning. He's got a long sword. You know, does it have a ceiling? Like, I don't,
yeah, it's
a
basically
cave.
like an imploding tent at this point. So you got to like climb in there and
hold breath and move through gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's gotta do.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it.
All right. Let's go for it. 3 successes. So that will do 13 damage at Pierce 4.
Okay. Okay. So just like hacking, slashing your way through it. Unfortunately, because it's a portal, you also have to clear the inside of the portal in order to make room to actually like activate the thing. So yeah, just like this tumor's collapsing around you as you continue to hack and slash away. But you can tell you're making excellent progress. Like you're getting enough of a shape of this thing. But yes, very, very good progress as you stand inside the tumor. Bring us to the Nurglings. I don't think they're touching any of this shit. Except a bunch of them were told to watch Morgan's gun.
Yep.
Oh.
So they're going to grab that because they're very helpful. And they're going to take a shot with it. And I'm going to see, based on the roll, who they hit.
Oh my god.
No.
Is the pool of candidates just us, or is it anyone in the room?
Yeah,
No.
just-
It's
all
a
right,
bunch
okay.
of little guys being like, "Meh, blah, blah, blah." So they've got the danger close people are the demon host, the two sorcerers on this side, and Gideon are the people that they can kind of see within their orbit.
Don't nobody say anything.
They have
I-
one agility.
I want to say so much.
Don't
is
you
the
say
thing.
nothing.
I just want to comment on the odds so badly.
Yeah, I want to be clear that like nothing bad's going to happen to you. This can't go wrong.
Yeah.
The die pool's totally
done
clear. Gideon's going to live forever.
Everyone
This
is
gun
fair.
is going to go, it's going to put a bullet through Gideon's eye, and then that's it.
No. It's going to kill the demon host, and you're going to walk away unscathed.
Yes.
Okay, Tony, you ready for
Sounds
us? Come on.
I have
Yeah.
one green, one blue, 3 purple, 1 black.
Wait, are they aiming? It's
They
the
take
gun.
the aim maneuver.
They don't know.
Okay,
how to
but
do
it
that.
automatically gets 1 boost because it's accurate.
Hell
Just
yeah.
baseline.
Oh, that's
Great.
so funny.
Okay. I'm going to spend a story point to upgrade their 1 green to a yellow
Sure.
because they think they're the heroes now.
Everyone is the hero of their own story. That's true.
Okay. 1 yellow, 2 blue, 3 purple, 1 black. As expected. That's 2 advantage and 1 failure. So now I got to figure out who they hit. I'm just going to roll a D3 and say Demon Host is 1, North Sorcerer is 2, South Sorcerer is 3.
You're in the clear,
I'm
baby.
in the clear. I feel good.
No
I told you.
successes.
I know.
I don't know why you didn't believe me. You guys are
Nothing
angry.
bad ever
Have faith
happens to
in
the
the Emperor.
Kennedys.
Bad.
If I hadn't said it, you'd be dead.
I'm a Kennedy. I'm not accustomed to tragedy.
Pause! I get 2. So the one sorcerer is just holding his head and screaming. And then suddenly it's silent, which is wonderful. But then it takes its hands away and sees the hole through both of them, and then collapses face first into the tumor. And the Nurglings, there's the classic like one Nurgling, the Nurgling who's looking down the scope. It's just like ah, and, like tapping the guy who's shot, and the guy who's shot gives him a thumbs up. Grandfather is amused but mad. So sorcerer down. Cool. But they still have your gun, which might be a problem. All right, so that's the
You can buy
Nurglings. And finally, we have the demon host. You rode off into the sunset with Toby. So enraged, it'll just turn.
You thought you were safe from the gun.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll turn and lock eyes with Gideon and begin to stalk towards you. But it's far enough away. Well, but you're running towards it, so I think it
Meet
makes
in the middle.
Yeah, makes it up to you, and it is going to spew goo on you.
It's like a guy with a fever's yelling at me.
Listen, this worked last time. Yeah. Nothing bad can possibly happen. All the odds are in your favor. Victory is yours.
Yep.
You just keep typing it.
Feeling
Hype
good.
that boy.
Feeling good. I'm going to become the new Origath. It's going to be very
It
cool.
ended well for him.
yellow.
I can do a very bad Werner Herzog.
Well, then you can't be Origath because
Yeah.
that's doing a very good. Okay, so I got 2 yellow, 3 green against 2 purple.
Yeah, we don't know if the contagion turns you German. Most of the Nurgles didn't have that accent.
We got story points if you feel like
It's the
you
one
need
boost
to
from
upgrade.
warp nonsense. Gonna spend anything to?
Yeah,
make this
you know
harder?
what? I feel like I might as well.
Does ranged or melee defense come into play for this kind
it
of
does.
attack?
It's
Ooh.
melee defense.
Oh, okay. I got a nice little 3 melee
3,
defense.
2, 3. Great.
There we go.
Okay, so 2 yellow, 3 green, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 purple, 3 black.
And I'll spend a story point.
That was I've
Oh,
already
is that in there?
accounted
Okay,
for it.
perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Baby.
Fuck. 1 triumph,
Oh,
5 success,
holy
and a despair.
shit.
Hey!
Fuck
What
me.
is that
God
roll?
damn.
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features the voices of players Ryan LaPlante, Tyler Hewitt, Josh Halbot, and Del Borovic, alongside Game Master Tom McGee. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentyne Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Mithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy, Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Beef Not Cheese, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Adam, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.